So hello today again. So this is the second video of my Pentest Plus on Pentest Plus. So right now in this video I talked about yesterday about the Wireshark demo in the lab dinners. So today I got the lab dinners virtual box, and I guess the password is password 123, and yeah, I am in this lab dinners virtual box. So before the virtual box actually starts, I want to talk about what is lab dinners and how to install it. Basically, go to a website or search lab dinners in the Google, and you can get this website called nps.edu. You can directly go to this website, or either right here there is this lab dinners, you can go right from here. So there are a lot of things you have to visit here, virtual machine images, and click it, and you will get virtual box VM appliance right here. So there is another thing called VMware VM appliance. This is for VMware, and this main thing is for virtual box. So here is the password. The password is password 123. I don't know why is it not working. Let's just type it again, password 123, and if I click sign in, let's just wait for a moment. Yeah, it opened right here, you can see. So there is a terminal already, right? What is it having the problem? I don't know why whenever I started recording a video it creates me a problem, even though it was perfectly fine a minute before. You can download this virtual machine appliance from here, and you can import it right here in the virtual box. You can do it by, like, you have to open the virtual box. I'm in Linux, you can do it for Windows, something like that. Let's just reopen it and let's just see what's the problem. You go here, right here I installed the lab dinners VM baseline 1. So if you click the open button and open it, you will have a Ubuntu machine. We're going to run an Ubuntu machine, and right here you can do one thing before running it. You can go right here and decrease the display scale factor to 100. That is one goal you can do. Right here open, but same problem. Yeah, same problem. Okay, let's just see if it's working or not. If it's not working, I'm going to not going to do it. Yeah, it's creating me some problem, I don't know why. Am I writing it wrong or something? It's password 123 and I'm typing it the same. I don't know, whenever I try to make a video, I will going to have a problem. Definitely, whenever I try to make a video, fucking hated by if it don't work, let's just skip this forever. It's nothing more. Here is nothing, anything actually doing greater or something like that. You can do it on your own too. Basically what I'm saying, it's just here is a particular virtual box. Okay, in this virtual box it is a Docker image of a Wireshark tool, and there is a pcap file which from which you will have to extract a password and a username. This is the main task of the labtainer's VM. It will going to work fine in your machine, but for some reason it's not working on my when it completes over the format not matching over the standards. It should play after downloading and installing. So the terminal will display both the button after the download appears. Student guide. Okay, there is a labtainer student guide. It's the same student guide you will find in the right here in the virtual machine. So you'll have to take care of that too. Okay, this is it in the lab manual, and here if I just want to do something, just have to power off this. Let's just do a headless start. Okay, just trying something new to just open it down. I guess I have a lot of to say, but I don't know how would I able to say it. So let's just talk about some of the other factors on the ocean before if the Wireshark starts. I will just going to explain that Wireshark to you, otherwise it's not going to happen because it's seriously creating a lot of problems and issues for me. Let's just hope it starts, and yeah, it's showing me a login screen though. Don't know why, but it's not working. I'm just showing you that exact error which is happening to me, and I actually did it before. Okay, there was no error before, but suddenly it's just showing me some errors. I can't click anything here. Okay, it's just showing me this, and it's going back to the same all over again. Let's just reset or something like that. let's just do one thing. I'm going to power off it first of all, and in the virtual box I'm gonna remove this particular thing, delete all the files. I'm gonna import the exact file which I have right here in the download section. This is the virtual OVA, and I'm going to open it. I'm going to give it a RAM. No RAM is required. Let's just go here and import this. But before importing, let's just talk about something like why Wireshark is important. Wireshark is kind of a packet analyzer tool for obviously packet analyzing, and there are multiple reconnaissance techniques. Wireshark is one of them. I'm going to give you a little bit of discourse if the lab trainers work, but before it, let's just dive into this kind of topic called open source resources, and this is called passive reconnaissance. Okay, so the passive reconnaissance basically is like gathering information about the target organization from here and there, like everything you can do without without giving them to know that you are doing it. Like an example of it, like if you are stalking someone, they don't know you are stalking them, right? Like you are stalking them using social media or something like that. You have to do the same for an organization or a company. If you are doing it for the passive reconnaissance, like when you are giving a task to pen test a company, do a pen test for a company. So one thing that's definitely going to happen was you have to gather a lot of information about that particular company, and you have to pretend like other guy or someone who is new here, and get the security security talks or something like that. Like you, if you get someone's password or get valuable information about someone, it's kind of a same thing as passive reconnaissance. You can do the same for an pen test. Before the pen test, there is something called decompilation. To understand decompilation, let's just understand compilation. Compilation means when you are using a programming language or you are writing a code. So a compiled code means when the code is actually going to converted to a machine language. Okay, basically means you write a printf dot hello world. Okay, printf, you are calling a function called printf from stdio.h type of a C program or something like that. Whatever, if you ask me, C is the most close to a motherboard or something like that, close to motherboard understanding high level language. So C is basically give you C or C++. These kind of languages give you direct exposure to compilers. Basically when you're writing some code and that's going to be transformed into a machine code, so that is what is called the compiler. The decompiler is actually does the thing but in opposite. When you are compiling a machine code to a machine code to a normal source code, this particular thing means basically is like a reverse engineering. When you are saying a executable thing, like you are saying let's just assume you are saying is watching Facebook two-factor authentication, and you try to create the same on your own using a particular same tech stack or different tech stack. Then you understand the flaws and the other things more accurately than Facebook, but it's not always reliable, and output is generally awkward to read at best. Actually, that's just going to be happen. Like it's not going to be extremely perfect and not going to be extremely good as the executable actually is. So this is kind of a thing we call decompilation. There is something called debugging. It's also did the same, but the understanding is really different. when you are debugging a code, what it does is you are selecting or finding the problems in that particular code, finding the bugs in that particular code. Debugger helps you to do that, but when a hacker's perspective comes into the play, it's basically is that you are debugging and finding out the problems, and you are going to exploit them. This is the main reason you are debugging. So this is kind of a nice perspective to have. It's going to reveals the program secrets and weaknesses. Another tool in the windows is win debugger. It's kind of a good tool to have. Then there is called open source intelligence gathering. I have talked about it before. I have made a lot of try hack me ch, I guess. I have one, sorry, ch no, ctf. I have one video about try hack me. Try hack me open source gathering based video that is going to be helpful, really helpful for cta purposes, but these are actually theory purposes. Okay, so there are a lot of sources to find the cve or the vulnerability. If you understand cve, okay, what is, let's talk about the cve purpose. You find a, let's example, you find a vulnerability in a particular website or something like that, and it's a brand new vulnerability, no one knows about it. When you discover a new vulnerability, that is what we call the cve. CVE are actually one of the most important for hackers, because that going to give you a lot of information, plus it can give you a chance to get into the system. Okay, like some cves are actually very much tough to crack or something like that, but some cves have general purposes to give you the control or access on it. You can get a lot of other stuffs using the cves too. Similarly, like the cve, you have to record a particular thing. Like most of the programmers, what the programmers do, the programmers use programs from other languages. They use other languages, but the languages are made by some developers, and the cves are actually the same thing. Like finding the bugs or finding the actual vulnerabilities is cvs. So similarly, there are a lot of websites that actually list those vulnerabilities, and like cert, computer emergency response team, then nist, national intelligence and institute of standards and technology. Both, all are government websites right here. But then comes most of the normal websites, like CPEC, Common Attack Pattern Enumeration. I never heard of them actually. There are full disclosure of particular. They are actually from checklist. The persons brought us nmap. Then what I am talking about, the CVE or the Common Vulnerability and Exposures, and then the CWE, Common Weakness Enumeration. These two websites are actually pretty important. And you will know about another website, which is, I guess, right here I involved it. It's called the exploitdb.com. If you go here, you will see right here, this is the most important website. Here it is already, it's bookmarked in Kali. So it's a really good website. So I already attained the lab trainers. Let's just hope it works. And what I'm talking about was the display. You can make it change to 100. Okay, and okay, let's just start switch. Just give it a little bit of time to open. Let's just talk about another basic reconnaissance things, which are password dumps, or like have I been pawned. You will heard of them a lot. like whenever they had a breach of passwords, you can know about them from the have I been pawned. A lot of things. Again, I would definitely didn't included rockU file list that are also very good for passwords. Then metadata, like you get to see a photo, but if you notice in the info section, you will get the details of the photo, when the photo is clicked, or when what is the time which is clicked, or the additional infos like the size and the other things. So these are actually called metadata, and it's give you a lot of information actually. Okay, not in a general perspective of hacking an organization, but it will you are hacking a person, then it's actually important or something like that. Then there is called Shodan. It's also a very important website. Census also a very important website. The uses of Shodan I will not be able to show you properly, but Shodan is really useful. You will use Shodan's API also a lot. Okay, so a thing called Wayback Machine, you already know it. Gathering old infos, old understanding of things like MacBook and other things. So you can get a lot of ISOs, and doesn't have to say more about the Wayback Machine or the archive.com. Another good source is actually GitHub. If you never considered GitHub, so GitHub is actually a pretty good source of passive reconnaissance. I guess I never able to find a lot more accurate thing to say about GitHub, because you will find a lot of reverse engineering things in GitHub. People created a lot of cool projects in GitHub, and you can get an understanding of what happens in the big companies through GitHub. Okay, those are actually pretty awesome, I guess. There are also pretty much tools right here for ocean scanning, and yeah, you can use a lot of things, understand a lot of tools, but yeah, this is basically it. And also you know some people considered NVD also. Okay, National Vulnerability Databases, you can consider it whatever in your opinion. I consider CVE more. And then comes the active reconnaissance. So active reconnaissance are actually a pretty good way to active reconnaissance is the main reconnaissance when you are aggressively pen testing a particular website. This thing is called so it's not going to happen, I guess. Just adjust some memories to see if it works or not. So active reconnaissance gives you a scenario, which basically is active reconnaissance. You are meaning you are actually hacking that particular website, or started hacking a particular website. Like there are you have to detect a lot of things, and these are the things like load balancer detection. I will modally talk about load balancers a lot again in the upcoming videos or something like that. Then there is the firewall detection, and basically the WAF detection. WAF means the web application firewall. Okay, let's just talk about firewall and web application firewall. Firewall basically means when you are actually hacking a Windows. Like, let's just say you already hack into a particular website, and then you got the access of the Windows or get the access of the server. On the server, you are on the server actually. Then comes the firewall of the machine. If they have a firewall, if they don't have a firewall or they have a firewall wall on the website, then you can't actually directly hack into it. Because what happens, my experience, I have seen, like I have seen on the Cloudflare or something like that, they have a lot of these kind of things. Okay, they have this kind of things a lot of times. The people are actually going to suffer for it. They don't actually seen DDoS attack. These are actually for the protection of DDoS attack. You can detect it using this software called WAF. Then there is a antivirus. You can examine antivirus from email headers and footers. It's actually pretty crazy, I didn't know that before. Okay, then there is called the beef or the nmap in the Kali already installed. Beef also installed in Kali. After that, the firewall I talked about. Firewalk, you can detect it from the firewalk tool. There is something called war driving. Let's just hop into it, I guess. That's for sure. War driving is basically wireless networks have brought a lot of convenience. Or let's just go here. War driving originated from war drilling, a method popularized from the movie War Games. If you have seen it, I don't know, I've never seen it. Term war driving coined by computer security consultant Pete Shipley. War dialing involved dialing every phone number in a specific sequence in search of modems. War driving knew access point mapping and its act of searching Wi-Fi wireless networks, usually in a moving vehicle using a smartphone or laptop. Basically, it's just searching about wireless networks. These are actually is the great overview of war driving. Then the cloud asset discovery. Cloud asset discovery is basically about finding more in about the cloud security or the cloud servers or something like that. Trust me, I have did this particular lab on the afternoon. I don't know if it's actually going to run or not, or I have to maybe restart my particular PC to record it. If I restart ever, I will just going to record it. So maybe in another video I'm going to see you. There is the active reconnaissance. There is third-party hosted services like similar approach in cloud asset. These things I definitely see you when you are doing a active reconnaissance, there's a high chance of getting detected. Okay, you will be detected. There are still scans to not detecting it. Then comes the vulnerability scannings, like using nmap. You can actually scan a lot about a particular target, plus a lot about the vulnerabilities in that particular about the particular target. There are a lot of ways to find it. About basic vulnerabilities on the undergoing session to just go and good to go boundary vulnerabilities. Otherwise, you have to scan it on your own. Not every vulnerability you can find on your own. This particular slide talks about that particular thing. What I'm talking about is just basic understanding you can get. we already did it in our previous video about the nmap ping sweep. That was about like gathering information from it, but I'm going to give you another thing called hyphen a. Hyphen a is called fingerprinting. Basically means getting a lot of info about the server and the versions and other things. It actually helps a lot, and I already used this in my videos. But if you want to use it, I'm just going to give you a particular scenario or a particular way to do it. Basically type in this particular command, sudo nmap -a, and name a particular website which you are going to target. Let's just say test vulnhub, testphp.vulnhubweb.com, testphp.vulnweb.com. So it's going to scan a lot of information about this particular website, and it's going to take a lot of time, I guess. But this is not pretty stealthy because it creates a lot of noise. Noise means you can get detected using this. You can get detected. Okay, you can do a particular port scan using port scanner, the nmap. You can do that particularly, but if you want to do it like you want to mention a lot of website, you can get a lot of information from it. Just make it happen. Okay, just wait for it. Like if you want to search a particular, or from a particular port to another particular port, like 1 to I guess 100 port and 1000 port you want to scan, so then you can scan it like this. But if you want to scan 1 and 1000 port, okay, there is a difference. You want to scan the first port and the 1000 number port, you can do this by this. And if you want to scan like 23, 21, 443, 80, you can do this by mentioning this and then the target right here. Okay, I'm not doing it because I don't have a target. And there it is. You can see that when you are doing a -a search on a particular website, it gives you a lot of information about that website. Like it has 53 TCP port is open, 80 is open, and these are the two IPs that are open actually on the 0 to 100, and that is about surfacing at surface ISC bind 98.8. okay, this is the Nginx server of HTTP. Okay, another thing you can do is that it's guesses. It's using Preston 2 series. Okay, no OS detection has done. OS, it can able to detect the OS, but it's a lot of trace route. Okay, there is a trace route. This is a particular, I guess, AWS bucket. So these are particular information you get from it. Sometimes you get a lot of vulnerability things, or the basic vulnerabilities from it. So this is a little nmap, and this is a skill scan you can do, nmap -s, capital S. It actually, I don't know why people say it, but it it does actually depend on how much you can do. Stealth scan is basically a good to go scan. Okay, you're doing a good to go scan. It's just doing the finding the ports and can great. This is the stealth scan. Okay, compliance means particularly scan for vulnerabilities that make a system non-compliant. Like you can hack a particular website, like you can hack for you want to find a SQL injection, so you will definitely going to find the MySQL site if it's open or not. You can do this by this. Okay, I'm not going to show you scanning demos because already it was a quite a long video, and my lab trainers is not quite working. I guess I'll have to restart my particular machine. Maybe then it works. I don't know why it's not working. It's clearly working few hours ago, but okay, let's just see. So my due is I'm going to explain the nmap, nic2 and openvars tomorrow. Plus, if I have the chance, I'm going to explain the wireshark also. So this is for today. If you like it, please just have a like, give a like and subscribe to my channel. This is okay. Let's just meet you tomorrow.